कि आपने महिला सशक्तिकरण पर इतनी खूबसूरत फिल्म बनाई। हल्की फुल्की बातों में आपने बहुत गहरी गहरी बातें फिल्में की। और इस फिल्म के लिए मैं आपसे एक बात कहना चाहूँगी कि जब दादा साहब फाल्के लेके आए थे हरिश्चंद्र तारामती, तब महिलाएं नहीं आया करती थी, महिलाएं उसके नाम से भी थर्राया करती थी, और जो जेंट्स रहते थे वही फीमेल कैरेक्टर, यहाँ तक कि जो तारामती बनी थी वो भी मेल कैरेक्टर था। तो आपने जो इसमें जो डांस किया, एक तो मैं उसमें रणवीर और जो उनके साथ हैं उन दोनों को भी बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगी कि उन लोगों ने उसको शास्त्रीय नृत्य से इतनी गहराई से और इतनी खूबसूरती से जोड़ा है। तो आयुष्मान खुराना, मेरा सवाल ये है कि अभी अभी हम आयुष्मान खुराना से मिले थे और उन्होंने हमें कहा कि इस तरह की फिल्में आएंगी तो हमें इस तरह के जो कैरेक्टर, वो ड्रीम गर्ल में इसी तरह का कैरेक्टर कर रहे हैं, उसे मजाक नहीं बनाया जाएगा, क्योंकि अब तक जितनी भी फिल्में आई हैं दादा साहब फाल्के के बाद, सारी की सारी जब पुरुष कोई बनता है महिला तो उसका मजाक उड़ाया जाता है, उसको एक टैलेंट के रूप में या उसको एक कला के रूप में नहीं लिया जाता है। क्या इस बात को बल मिलेगा आपकी इस फिल्म के बाद?
आई थिंक जिस दौर की आप बात कर रहे हैं उससे तो हम काफ़ी आगे बढ़ चुके हैं मैम, और ऑलरेडी आई थिंक हमारी सिनेमा में इंटरनेशनली और नेशनली दोनों अभी ऐसा हम डिवाइड ही नहीं करते एनी मौके, मेल सेंट्रिक, फीमेल सेंट्रिक, हीरो सेंट्रिक, हीरोइन सेंट्रिक। सब जानते हैं कि औरतों का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन, वो चाहे बड़े पर्दे पर हो या बड़े पर्दे के पीछे हो, हैज़ बीन equal if not more to the men, and more power to the women who have contributed so deeply to cinema. इस टोटा और रणवीर का जो नाच था, वो कथक परफॉर्मेंस थी ऑन डोला रे डोला, is not only a homage to Mr. Sanjay Leela Bhansali, but also a homage to the fact कि हुनर का कोई जेंडर नहीं होता। और ये हमने टोटा द्वारा ऑलरेडी ये बात हमने बहुत ही साधारण लफ्ज़ों में कहा था, और दैट इज़ माई बिलीफ एंड दैट इज़ बिलीफ ऑफ द राइटर्स। और ये हम कहना चाहते थे कि बाकी हुनर का कोई जेंडर नहीं होता, एंड इन बस उसी एक लाइन में वो पूरी बात समझ आ जाती है। थैंक यू मैम फॉर रेजिंग दिस क्वेश्चन, एंड आई होप यू वॉच द फिल्म अगेन।
करण नमस्कार, मैं रेखा खान नवभारत टाइम्स से। मंच पर जितने भी लोग हैं, आलिया मेरी प्यारी, रणवीर मेरा प्यारा, और बाकी भी सब, धर्म जी आपको भी नमस्ते। सबको मैं बहुत सारी मुबारकबाद और बहुत सारी बधाई देना चाहूँगी। फिल्म मतलब इतनी कमाल की हुई है, ट्रेलर से ही पता चल रहा था। लेकिन करण, मेरा सवाल आपसे है कि फिल्म में एक जो हम कहते हैं ना कि हम एक पारिवारिक, जो हमारे हिंदी सिनेमा का जो हमेशा से एक मूल्य रहे हैं, उसको आपने एक बार, आपकी फिल्मों में वो हमेशा होता है, लेकिन एक बार आपने उसको फिर से एक रिवाइव कर दिया। तो उसमें आपके पारिवारिक जो मूल्य हैं, आपके जो वैल्यूज़ हैं, फैमिली मूल्य हैं, उसका कितना कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा है आपकी इस फिल्म में?
देखिए, जाहिर है कि जो भी निर्देशक होता है या लेखक होता है, वो अपनी ज़िंदगी से कहीं ना कहीं कुछ छांट के बड़े पर्दे पे डाल ही देता है। और ऐसे बहुत सारे किरदार हैं इस फिल्म में, चाहे वो टोटा का हो या अंजलि का हो। इन दोनों दौर से मैं खुद गुजर चुका हूँ। जहाँ तक परिवार की बात आप कर रहे हैं, तो धर्म जी का एक लाइन है जो मेरा बिलीफ है कि घर नहीं तोड़ते। जब धर्म जी की ये एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण लाइन है, और वो एक लाइन मेरी फैमिली और वैल्यू सिस्टम को डिफाइन करता है कि घर नहीं तोड़ते, नो मैटर व्हाट यू ट्राई एंड होल्ड ऑन टू फैमिली। एंड आई थिंक उन्हीं अल्फाजों में मैंने अपनी भावनाएं डाल दी। सो ऑफ कोर्स दिल के भी करीब है और मेरे भावनाओं के भी करीब।
Hello, hi, Pooja Navathi here from Awesome TV. My question is to Ranveer Singh. Congratulations for the success of the film. Ranveer, can anyone else play a Delhi boy better than you?
I don't know. That's not for me to say. But yeah, I'm glad that amongst various Delhi boys that I've played, I'm able to find something different to offer with every character. So that's very fulfilling and heartening to learn from the audience's reaction to the film and the character and the performance.
The Kathak dance was outstanding.
Thank you,
What
madam.
was Deepika's reaction to that?
she loved it. Actually, it was one of the most memorable and fulfilling movie watching experiences of my life. I took her on a Saturday night to watch Rani Kii Prem Kahaani. It was just the two of us sitting in the last row on recliners, and I had seen the film already, so I was really just there for her reaction. And she was laughing, she was crying, she was clapping, whistling, and oftentimes turning to me and saying, "Oh." So yeah, I had the best and most fulfilling experience sitting with her and watching it. She's very, very proud of me, and I'm very happy about that.
One last question to Mr. Apurva and Ajit ji. How has your association been with each other, Viacom and Hera?
I think the best answer is just look at all the 4 films that we did together, and I think the answer is supplied by those films. I think the other thing I want to say is I've been actually very impressed with the amount of nuance and understanding. Of course, we talk about the creative aspects and his directorial, strength and all of that. But I think what has been learning for me is the amount of distribution knowledge that Karan has, and of course Apurva, is standing next to him, supplying all the encyclopedia. But he has such a deep knowledge of which territory is supposed to do how much and all of that, that suddenly we as a team are slightly under pressure that, okay, we need to make sure our A game is there all the time, So, so I think it's been a very, very fulfilling partnership. We've learned from each other, and I hope that we'll be able to, create a lot more of work together as we go forward.
I couldn't have said better. I think it's been a tremendous association. I think they have an amazing team, and they have been standing pillar strong with us across all the films. And I really look forward to doing more work with Ajit and the Viacom team. I'm sure it's the same with all of us here.
Hello everyone, this is Aina from Instant Bollywood. First of all, congratulations to all of you all. I loved the film. I've enjoyed it from my heart. My question is to Karan, that as a filmmaker, you said that you were very nervous before the release, and as a filmmaker or an artist, you're never complacent with what you do. You want to achieve more and more and more. At what point did you feel like satisfied that you have made a good film, or was it only after the release and the reviews?
Truth be told, when a filmmaker knows he's made a good or a bad film is never a good thing. A filmmaker should never know. A filmmaker should tell his or her story in the best way possible and then hope for the very best. I could never at any point say that, yeah, kya picture banai hai maine, or like khud ko I can't like tap on my own shoulder. I can only pray that when the film is out, it gets the love that you hope for and the love that you put into the film. I was very nervous, I was very stressed. That whole Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday prior to the release, I was on the verge of some kind of a panic attack. And literally I think, but on Friday I think I started breathing and the oxygen started coming back, and the oxygen was the love that came from everyone, all of you and the audiences.
Hi Nikita, here from India Forums. My mom especially loved the bra conversation scene which happened. So I really want to ask all of you men over here, aapke ghar mein, when was this topic normalized to talk about? When was this not considered as a taboo? When was it normalized at your places? Starting with you, Karan.
I am the only child raised by a very progressive mother. For members of the audience who know her, Bharti being the first one I can see. It was never a taboo topic. I've gone shopping for her to buy a bra, and it's never been a problem with me. But I do know that while I did it, there were friends who were with me who were horrified that I was actually doing this and why I wasn't designating this job to a female friend of mine to do it. And I was like, why? It's been asked by my mother, why am I sending somebody else to do it? Because my mother is now 81 years old, and when she does need something, and I am in a place that has that something, then I have to go and buy what she wants. It could be a bra, it could be any other item. For me, that felt organic, also because I knew that there is a discomfort around it. And there's a line that Chunni says, कि सदियों से वो औरतें मर्दों की चड्डियाँ घिस रही हैं, घिस, और तुम एक ब्रा को नहीं टच कर सकते. And that to me was very definitive of what people feel about it. I don't know what Chuni has to say, but like that was my feeling.
Absolutely. I remember that Kiss was part of our improvisation. We put that in. And that is what women want to say, you know. If we've been washing your underwear for years, for centuries, why is it that touching a woman's bra or even mentioning it becomes such a problem? But then, personally, I'm not so preachy as Anjali is. And I think I gave Ranveer a very bad time that way. But of course, what has to be said has to be said. And I think we made a very strong point there because of Karan.
धर्म पाजी आपके ठीक सामने
धर्म पाजी
धर्म पाजी आप मेरी आवाज़ सुन सकते हैं आपके ठीक सामने मैंने ये पूरी फिल्म देखी है दिल से बोल रहा हूँ ये सवाल दिल से है कि आपका वो किसिंग सीन बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल बहुत ही प्यारा था तो अगर कुछ थोड़ा बहुत अगर आप बता सकें
जी आपके किसिंग सीन के बारे में
सब कुछ बता दिया कैप्टन अच्छा हो तो टीम खूब खेलती है और ये कहता है कि 5 साल बाद आया हूँ करण 5 साल बाद आया 7 साल बाद आया ये अपने जौहर दुखा कर जाएगा मैंने जब पहले कहानी सुनी मैं बुरी कहानियों में भी काम किया पैसे के लिए किसी को हेल्प करने के लिए मगर जिस दिन ये कहानी सुनी मैंने मुझे लगा ये घर घर की कहानी आप किसी भी कैरेक्टर को पकड़ो आजकल छोटे छोटे बच्चे डांस करते हैं मैं देखता हूँ कि एक लेडी अपने बच्चे को झुला रही है झूला और गा रही है मैं जट्टी ये मुला मैं अभी ये तो रणबीर कपूर ही बनेगा रणबीर ने जो किया है he is really a very good actor and a very emotional person. I enjoyed every bit of my time with this unit and और क्या कहूँ मैं अभी तो शहर में नहीं दुनिया में चर्चा है कि रानी और रॉकी और रानी की कुछ है बहुत मजा आया दोनों ने बहुत अच्छा मैं पिक्चर की भी बात कर रहा
हूँ आपको ऑडियंस के रिएक्शन देखने चाहिए हॉल्स में वो वाले सीन पे
मैं भाईजान जा नहीं सका फिल्म में पता है मुझे लोगों की बहुत से मैसेज आ रहे हैं कि धर्म जी आपने ऐसा ऐसा बनाई यार ये तो मेरे दाएं हाथ का काम है दाएं हाथ से करवाना हो और मुझे कहा करण ने कि बाजी जो आप हैं वही रहना
ये आप प्राइवेट बातें क्यों बाहर बोल रहे हैं
मैं बॉबी को बताया मैंने गुड स्टोरी एंड गॉड इज ग्रेट और मुझे भी जब जब मौका मिलता है छक्का मार देता हूँ ऐसे आता हूँ लेकिन आता हूँ तो आप लोगों ने जो दिलों में जगह दे रखी है मुझे ये मैं जाने नहीं दूंगा ऐसे बनाए रखूँगा ऐसे ही बनाए रखूँगा क्योंकि मुझे बनना नहीं आता मैं हकीकत हूँ जो दिल में है मन में है वो कह देता हूँ और मोहब्बत से बढ़कर कुछ नहीं तो मोहब्बत आपकी न देती रोशनी गर मेरे नाम को कैसे बनता धर्म मैं आपका पहुँचता कैसे इस मुकाम इसके लिए खेल बोलता हूँ बच्चा है इसके तो बचपन से मेरे बच्चे भी सब जानते हैं फैमिलीज के बेरुखी से उनकी रुख न मोड़ा मैंने जिद को इनकी जिद से अपनी तोड़ा मैंने आई ना माथे पे शिकन जो दिल शिकनी से इनकी मुस्कुरा कर गए लिपट एक दिन कहते हुए बेशरम कहीं के कुछ इस तरह का रोमांस अच्छा लगा बहुत मज़ा आया। मैं तो जो बोलते थे, मुझे मालूम था जो मैं भी कर रहा हूँ, जो मुझे दिया गया करने को, इसमें दम है। तो जैसे भी मैं निभा गया, आप लोगों ने पसंद किया। आप मतलब आप भी सिर्फ कैमरा ही नहीं देखते, आप भी पिक्चर भी देखते हैं। लव यू ऑल। आई एम हैप्पी because of my captain, my co-stars, my whole team. I am grateful to them. It was very nice time for me. ये blend हुआ है ऐसे, इनको देख के मुझे लगता है हमारी लड़की को, प्यारी सी लड़की को, कि ये गोल्डन डेज का और आज का मिक्सचर है। गोल्डन डेज में हम जब लड़की को देखते थे, ये टू बी फ्रैंक, तो लड़की देखती रहती थी और देखते देखते रहते थे। और आर्ट भी था, लेकिन इसमें जो आर्ट है इसमें बहुत वेरी गुड, वेरी टैलेंटेड गर्ल, एंड आई इम्प्रेस हर, शी शुड कंटिन्यू एंड गिव अस सम मोर गुड पिक्चर, एंड रणवीर यू टू, ओके, वी नीड यू, लव यू ऑल। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन if there is?
Hi, Ranveer. It's obvious we have to do a convo.
What obvio?
What obvious? Karan said in an interview that the Kathak performance of yours could
I
have...
read everything that you wrote on social media, Ankita. Thank you so much. It really touched my heart. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
It means a lot to me that how much happy I was. 5 in a row I have done the film for you. I think once more I have to go and see. But Karan sir said in an interview that the Kathak performance you performed in the film could have gone down south, how people would have perceived it or not. Were you scared to step on the stage at that particular moment, perform? And what if? Were you like triggered by that part that they could have been a what if to it?
Well, in the initial days of rehearsal, I was a bit anxious because I've got a lot of muscle mass, babes. You know, my shoulders, chest, bicep, tricep, very big, very tight, lot of muscle mass and density. So it was very difficult in the initial days. One had to uncondition one's body for the grace of Kathak to kind of come in. But I was getting reports that Tota sir is killing it in Kolkata. He's on it for hours a day, putting in the sweat, putting in the work, and yeah, he was doing it in Kolkata. I was doing it in Bombay, and I knew at the back of my mind that we were safe and secure because we were being choreographed by Vaibhavi ma'am, and she is an absolute stickler for absolute excellence. तो वो छोड़ती नहीं जब तक उनको जो चाहे वो मिले नहीं. So all credit to her, to the choreography team who really put us through the paces till the very last hour. And I'm so thrilled with the reaction to that moment. I've been in the cinema halls personally to witness that, and it is the most euphoric, most fulfilling and joyous feeling to see the audience's reaction to that.
Alia, Samina here from Times of India. So my question is to you. Journalist play करना कैसे था? Because KRA goals सब भूल चुके थे आपको देखते वक्त. Literally I was wondering, I hope ऐसे career होता. Second question is, आपकी शादी के आसपास ही you were wearing that bridal gown and all, you know, after that maybe. So how was that experience and what's Ranveer Kapoor's reaction to this?
To the journalist thing, honestly, my first day of shoot was my introduction in the film. और जहाँ पे मेरा सीन होता है मिनिस्टर जी के साथ, और जो मैं अपनी बहुत ही पैशन के साथ बात कर रही थी उनके साथ, and I genuinely felt very comfortable doing that scene just because of how much I connected. And there is one more scene जो फिल्म में नहीं है, जहाँ पे मैं actually reporting कर रही थी, उसमें मेरे को बहुत मज़ा आया. I don't know whether I'll make a good journalist or not, but I definitely enjoyed that a lot. काफी लोग मुझे कह रहे हैं कोई जर्नलिस्ट ऐसे साड़ीज नहीं पहनती है. But true. They're very simple sarees. But this is Karan Johar's version of that. To answer your question about कुड़माई जो आपने अभी गाना देखा, yeah, actually it was in the same week. 4 days later जो मेरी शादी रियल लाइफ में हुई और फिर रियल लाइफ में हुई, बहुत ही अलग थी दोनों. My home wedding was my simple, very light sari. बहुत ही easy था. मतलब मैं, you know, I was roaming around very freely. Here there was this heavy lehenga. सर पे मेरा एक का heavy दुपट्टा. I was definitely very grateful कि मेरा जो है शादी था बहुत ही simple था, घर पे था, because I would not have been able to do those things twice. And one interesting thing I'll tell you is जब हम फेरे ले रहे थे, रॉकी और रानी फेरे ले रहे थे, तो ऐसे उन्होंने कुछ कहा कि नहीं फिर लड़का आगे जाता है, ऐसे नहीं लड़की फिर आगे जाती है, नहीं ऐसा मैं अभी करके आया हूँ यार, मुझे पता है लड़की आगे जाती है. So that was one funny moment. And actually that moment, if you see in the song, जब रणवीर नीचे जाता है and he puts his head ahead like that and you know lets me put the वरमाला on top of him, वो actually मेरे साथ हुआ था. जो पहले रणवीर को उठा दिया था और मुझे कोई उठा नहीं रहा था, मैं देखी थी कोई उठाओ यार मुझे. Then he only went on his knees and he went down and I put the वरमाला. So that was, तो काफी close हो गया सब. He loved the film. He was very into. He sat Ranveer on my left and my mother on my right and my father right next to my mother, and the four of them were just responding and reacting, and just the way Ranveer said, to really see a film from your loved one's perspective. And Ranveer is very technical. He doesn't say too much. He says very little, and he just very simply said, it really worked for me. It touched the heart. He was laughing, and he said this film will be a big hit.
Alia, Justin here from Indian Express towards your right at the back. Here near the camera. You know, recently Webby Merchant in an interview revealed that to prep for Tum Kya Mile, you visited Shah Rukh Khan for a day. I mean, you had a meeting with him. What exactly transpired and how much did that help in making the song?
Actually, I was not going to reveal this. It was my little secret. But I was very nervous. I don't know whether it was going back to shoot after a couple of months. First time doing a full proper lip sync song after, I think, Ishq Wala Love. Yeah, that kind of, you know, that there was an inherent sort of nervousness in me, which I felt that I can do something more to do better. So I was discussing with Karan, and Karan said, you know, why don't you call Shah Rukh up? Maybe he'll give you some tips. So I called him up to talk on the phone. You know, I just want to understand from you because nobody lip syncs like you. And he said, "Tu ghar aaja." Suhana also was wanting to learn this. तो दोनों को साथ में हम ट्यूशन करेंगे, क्लास करेंगे. तो तू गाना लेके आजा. And we went and I was there for like about 2-3 hours. And Suhana और मैं पूरा एक गाना गा रहे थे. There's a whole lip sync portion which Shreya has sung beautifully. जो हम अभी release करने वाले हैं, the extended version of तुम क्या मिले. No, the video.
Oh, the video. हाँ.
The video. तो वीडियो हम रिलीज करने वाली एक्सटेंडेड वर्जन, तो वो बहुत फास्ट जा रहा था, तो मैं बहुत हाइपर हो रही थी वो फास्ट को लेकर. बट द वे ही ब्रोक इट डाउन, ही मेड मी डाउनलोड सम ऐप एंड ही सेड ये बार करो. ही आल्सो हैड लर्न्ड द सॉन्ग बाय द एंड ऑफ इट. It just shows how generous and such a large-hearted man and so wonderful and just always willing to help and be there for you. And whether it helped for this film or not, I know that experience will be irreplaceable in my life.
करण, हाय. आपने अभी रणवीर सिंह की एनर्जी के बारे में बताया एंड आपने बताया कि वो बहुत ही एनर्जेटिक हैं. पहली बार आप उनके साथ में काम कर रहे हैं, तो क्या हम ऐसा माने कि धर्मा को एक नया सुपरस्टार मिल गया है?
धर्मा को क्यों, इंडस्ट्री को सुपरस्टार बहुत पहले मिल गया था. पहले रणवीर सिंह यशराज का हीरो है और हमेशा रहेगा, और वो यशराज को पहले मिल गया था. ये धर्मा की खुशकिस्मती है कि रणवीर सिंह हमारे यहाँ भी आके उन्होंने बहुत बेहतरीन काम किया है. और हम यही चाहते हैं हमारी कंपनी में, आलिया और मेरी कंपनी में, कि हम कि बार लगातार रणवीर हमारे साथ अगर काम करे तो मैं बस कहूँगा कि ज़ह नसीब.
एक्चुअली मैं करेक्ट करूँगी, हम बस चाहते हैं कि रणवीर सिंह हमेशा हर हफ्ते काम करते रहे, क्योंकि हर हफ्ते उनकी पिक्चर लगी और हर हफ्ते मैं टिकट खरीद के जाऊंगी बिकॉज ऑफ दिस टैलेंटेड बॉय. प्राउड ऑफ यू बेटा.
मेरी बिल्ली मुझे मियाओ. आप भी जानते हैं, आप भी गाइए. And sir, that is true testament to the legacy of Dharma, and I'm only too proud to be a small part of it.
Do you know, for the first time in the history of Dharma, our logo is only 5 seconds because of length. So it goes, and that's it. If you notice, there is, yes, it's not because I was so paranoid about the length of the film that I was like, sub logos, cut do. So they said, no, cut nahi sakte. Mera title bhi nikal do. So in every other film you hear the whole chorus, in mine is, cut. It is literally that much. So I'm so sorry that we had to do this for our film. But I felt like I am the only person who can do it and not upset anybody. Because everybody else would want the whole chorus. But I said, but if I cut it, nobody will feel bad.
शुक्र है लोगों काटा सर लोगों को नहीं काटा थैंक यू वेरी मच
सीक्वल की तैयारी हो गई है
हाँ सीक्वल की तैयारी अभी वो राज को राज ही रहने देते हैं
टोटा
यस
Sir, as everybody calls you, how difficult is it for a man like you to become slightly effeminate?
Not really if my director is Mr. Karan Johar. Because for me, acting is actually trying to fulfill my director's vision in the best way possible. And when I work under somebody as sensitive as Karan sir, I know that I just have to listen to what he sees and try to understand his vision. So whether that character becomes effeminate or slightly, or I get in touch with my feminine side, it's not a matter of it's been presented by Mr. Karan Johar.
So was that difficult?
Not really. Honestly, ma'am, I didn't think about the process at all because it was a blind dive. It was a jump of trust. I trusted him and I submitted blindly to his vision.
Thank you. Ranveer, how long did you take to learn Dola Regola?
Weeks actually. We had a break between shoots, schedules. So we had some time. Best way to utilize it is to rehearse. Rehearsal is the name of the game for any performer.
At one point, I'm sorry to interject, but he called me at one point and he says, he's like, Karan, I don't think I have a bone of Kathak in my body. Like, I really don't think I'm being able to do this. He was really initially struggling, and that's why he worked extra hard.
It is because of extra muscle mass.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's... so yeah, oftentimes due to scheduling, us performers, we don't really get the ideal amount of time that one would like to rehearse. There's no end to how much you can rehearse. But here I had the opportunity and I took it with both hands.
Tell me, you had a couple of films that didn't work just before this. So was that weighing on you that this has to work?
Ma'am, I don't dwell too much with failure or success. I am grateful no matter what, the fact that I get to go to a film set and perform and collaborate with fine artists. That for me is the cake itself. And the fact that my character and the movie is being loved is the icing on the cake. So I am grateful no matter what.
Dharamji, one last question. Dharamji, good afternoon. Which is your favorite scene in the film?
I like every scene in the picture because the first time I saw the locales and the song, you know, हमारे वक्त में गाने में हम निकल जाते थे. ऐसा visuals and ऐसा कहाँ से select किया इन लोगों ने, कैसे picturize किया, it's something super. और बाकी साथ में देखिए इमोशन तो हर इंसान की ज़िंदगी में बगैर इमोशन कुछ नहीं है. वो झूठ बोलते हैं कि उदासी नहीं आती, दुख नहीं आते, और दुख हमेशा आपको पिन पॉइंट करता है. अगर वो नहीं है, हम कितना नाचने गा लें, बात नहीं मिलती. और ये कहानी इसलिए मैंने कहा घर घर की लगती है मुझे. जितना मैंने जब सुना पूरा मैंने और जो देखा तो और भी खूबसूरत लगा. और ही इज़ वेरी स्मार्ट डायरेक्टर. जहाँ इसको देखा था कैमरा किस पे ले जाना है तो ले जाता था.
जी also I want to ये आपकी फिल्म जया जी के साथ बहुत सालों बाद थी और जया जी ने अपना सफर आपके साथ शुरू किया था. और आप उनको अभी भी गुड्डी बुलाते हैं सर?
गुड्डी बुलाता हूँ जी से। उनका फोटो सेशन घर पे ही हुआ था हमारे, और she was my fan. She used to say, she was telling me the dialogues even there. Guड्डी is a fine actress, and घर का आना जाना उनके साथ अभी जब भी मिलते हैं तो वो मज़ा आता है, अच्छा लगता है। वो गुड्डी है मेरी। और शबाना जी के साथ भी बहुत अच्छा लगा काम करके। It is good. I enjoyed every bit of my, जो कुछ मुझे जितना मिला मैं उसको enjoy किया। कोई ऐसा नहीं कि ये खामखा है। अगर full stop है या कॉमा है या पूरा punctuation है, बहुत सही है। And I really enjoyed it. ये बहुत rare होता है। ये खामखा की फुटेज क्यों, ये पासिंग क्यों है? और फिर मेरे लिए एक्टिंग रिएक्शन है। जितनी ज़ोर से कोई जब भी डालेगा उतनी ज़ोर से आंखें बंद होती हैं। I react.
दिखाओ, डेमो दिखाओ।
I react to my
एक जफ्फी का डेमो हो जाए।
Thank you.
Hello, Ranveer.
Chiru.
Ranveer, hi, congratulations first.
Hello. Good. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for the question.
Ranveer, congratulations first. This is really hitting bullseye after 83. Really waiting for you to hit the bullseye. But you know, you are somebody who come over prepared on the stage. How was it like performing and with this having this cracking chemistry with Alia? Because you know how much room does it leave for an actor when you are so well prepared? And Karan, are you somebody who like to direct actors, or you like to see them perform and observe and choose, okay, is that working or not?
Before Ranveer and Alia, I think we should ask actors that I've worked with for the first time. So Shruti Jog, who I absolutely love, and I will say one moment about her a little later. And Anjali Anand, who in many ways this is her launch film. You can ask them actually. Shruti, what do you think I was doing on set?
No, to answer your question, I think it is a mix of both. The best thing is that he exactly knows what he wants, and by that I mean the emotion of the character. So the moment he explains the emotion, you get it. And if you want to go a step further, he's never said no. I know it for a fact that he has changed dialogues, he's changed scenes, he's changed his angles just because one of us is going a step ahead and trying to say कि ऐसा करके देख ले क्या. I think it takes a lot when you need to change the entire lighting only because one actor says एक step और जाता हूँ. I think it's fabulous, and whatever little that I have worked, I think he's one of the most cooperative, easygoing, and absolutely loving director that I have. I think he loves and respects his actors way more than we actually love ourselves when we are performing. It's only because of him you start feeling that yes, you're doing something really, really right. So thank you, sir.
Anjali here, Lipika.
Hi.
You played you portrayed your character in a very subdued manner initially. When you blasted, you were too good.
Thank you.
How do you look at that scene, you know?
I think a lot have been said about that scene, and like she said, like I was waiting that he would give me some direction, but you wouldn't even come to know that he's actually directing you. He would just come and have a conversation with you, and he just knew exactly what he wanted. And I think no director has ever trusted me so much. He knew why he's cast me, and he knew what I could do, and he just trusted me with what I could do. And that scene where I'm bursting out at everybody, I think I ate up a few lines which were there. Because the first time I did it, we were both not happy with it, and I said it can be better. And the second time I did it, I ate up a few lines from the middle, and I think he said, I think it works because I didn't feel it, I didn't say it. And for someone who's written such a big breakout scene, which is such an important scene in that character's graph, for someone to just be okay with it in a fraction of a second that she didn't say it, that's not a big deal.
she said what she felt and we felt what she felt. So I think that is a mark of, he's Karan Johar, my name is Anjali, what do you think?
Alia, this question is to you, the little girl. You've been working with Karan, you know, and he's known to be doing family films. And a very good message, and everybody comes, you know, all the audiences have also loved this film. Since you have married also recently, any message you would like to give for joint family and nuclear family, you know, like girls are now getting into nuclear family, you know?
Any message that I would like to give through this film? I think this film says it all, and I think the what Karan said right now about the line that even Dharamji says in the film, very important time, कि घर नहीं तोड़ा जाता, रिश्ते नहीं तोड़ते. अभी इनके कैंसिल कल्चर सीन से ही ले लो, हम बहुत क्विक टू जज हो जाते हैं. समटाइम्स वी आर हार्डर इवन ऑन आवर ओन पीपल. लेकिन जो फैमिली आपकी स्ट्रेंथ और सपोर्ट बनती है, वो कोई नहीं बन पाता. और वो मेरे लाइफ में भी है, विथ माई फैमिली एंड माई होल फैमिली. My mother, both my mothers, my mom and my mom-in-law, my father here and my father up there, my sisters, my brother, my husband, my friends, they are the strongest support system in my life. तो उनको ज़्यादा granted ना ले और उनको ज़्यादा खुद से भी ज़्यादा अगर importance अगर आप दोगे, ज़िंदगी बहुत अच्छी कटेगी.
We did 3 more questions, right?
Karan at the back, hi. Hi, this is Priyanka from Bollywood. First of all, congratulations for a wonderful film. Congratulations to the
Hi.
Thanks. I absolutely love the fact that you showed 2 married people falling in love with each other. And it wasn't just 2 maybe young college lovers in Dharmendra sir and Shabana ma'am. And it kind of just made me go back to Kang, which when came kind of misfired but has found its own audience today. But I love your commitment to relationships which are called forbidden but aren't. So when you were attempting Rocky or Rani and you were showing this and you were writing, did you feel a sense of fear that will people get it again, or will it be like time lagega and then they might, you know, that it might find an audience later?
You know, more than the Dharamji, so we debated a lot with the Dharamji Jayaji track whether we should even show a younger version of it, and then we felt that we would leave it to the imagination of the audience. She says it, Shabana ji, as Jamani says it in an articulate manner, that those 7 days gave her a lifelong feeling of love. Those 7 days, I felt the relationship was just pure and beautiful, and it stayed with her. Sometimes, you know, and then Alia also says it, कि कभी-कभी, you know, 2 पल का साथ जिंदगी भर की मोहब्बत दे जाता है. And I felt that is the kind of emotion I wanted out of Jamani and Kaval's love story. For me, it was very pure. It was incomplete love, though, and I felt it was beyond being a forbidden fruit or dwelling on infidelity. I felt it was an incomplete feeling because they both sacrificed their feeling because they were both married, and they sacrificed it for the good and stability of the family. And then I go back to Gulzar Saab's line कि प्यार कहाँ पूरा होता है, उसका पहला अक्षर ही अधूरा होता है. So I feel very strongly about that line.
बॉक्स ऑफिस पर बॉलीवुड के इस त्योहार की हम सबको बधाई. करण, मेरा सवाल आपसे है, तमाम सारी बहुत अच्छी कमाल की फिल्म आपने बनाई, लेकिन आखिरी में धनलक्ष्मी को शादी में ले आना तो आपका क्या बिगड़ जाता है?
धनलक्ष्मी के मेंशन में लाइट चलेगी. इस लाइटों को भी धनलक्ष्मी से डर लगता है. ये जो बात आप कह रहे हैं बहुत जायज सवाल है. इस पर भी बहुत चर्चा हुई थी. मुझे लगता था कि बहुत सारे Dhanlakshmi is not allowing us to answer this question. I'm still going to go for it. I just feel that सारे जो कैरेक्टर्स थे उनका टर्न अराउंड हुआ था, और लॉजिकल टर्न अराउंड था, इमोशनल टर्न अराउंड था. लेकिन जया जी यानी धनलक्ष्मी पिक्चर में कहते हैं कि इस उम्र में मेरा घमंड और मेरा अहंकार मुझे मान ही नहीं देता कि मैं गलत हो सकती हूँ, फिर भी मैं तुम्हें ये शांति का प्रस्ताव भेज रही हूँ ताकि तुम उसके साथ ना करो जो मैंने किया था. तो एक किस्म की अपॉलॉजी भी दी थी, और एक किस्म का उन्होंने फिर भी अपना अहंकार दिखाया था। मेरे हिसाब से कहानी वहां खत्म होती है जहां ये, लेकिन मुझे लगता है 10 दिन बाद रॉकी और रानी धनलक्ष्मी के यहाँ जाते हैं और उनकी ब्लेसिंग्स लेते हैं।
सर पार्ट 2 की स्टोरी बता दो।
लेकिन मैं नहीं चाहता था कि हर रिश्ते का एक टर्न अराउंड हो। लाइक आई फेल्ट दैट ऐसा नहीं होता, घरों में नहीं होता। ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो अपनी सोच के साथ रह जाते हैं, वो बहुत ही रिजिड होते हैं अपने थॉट्स में और वो नहीं बदलते अपने ख्याल। और मैं एक्चुअली दैट्स व्हाई मैंने उनका टर्न अराउंड नहीं दिखाया, क्योंकि असली जिंदगी में हर एक कैरेक्टर का परिवर्तन नहीं होता।
मेरा दूसरा सवाल रणवीर से है। रणवीर,
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार।
पिक्चर अच्छी लगी आपको? क्या बात है।
मेरा सवाल ये है कि जब तोता सर पूरा वहाँ से इवेंट से आते हैं और बड़ा इमोशनल सीन है वहाँ पर उनका, वहाँ से आपका एक इमोशनल स्पीच शुरू होता है, वो टर्न अराउंड कितना मुश्किल रहा आपसे? क्योंकि ये अपने आप एक हाइट पर थे, इमोशनल हाइट पे, वहाँ से वो सीन पिकअप करना कितना मुश्किल रहा है डायरेक्टर?
सर मैं तो बहुत ही शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि टोटा सर laid the fertile soil for that emotion to end up where it did when we embraced each other. Personally जब मैं देखता था तो at some point जब टोटा सर अपनी कहानी बता रहे हैं रॉकी को, तो I was in tears and then रॉकी बात करना शुरू होता है, फिर मैं हंस रहा हूँ कि वो क्या क्या बोल रहे हैं कि फैटों को फैट नहीं बोल सकते, ब्लैकों को ब्लैक नहीं बोल सकते, और पूरी पब्लिक का भी रिएक्शन ये था। तो आई थिंक दैट्स अ स्पेशल सीन, क्योंकि अक्सर नहीं होता ऐसे कि आप हंसते हंसते रोते हो, रोते रोते हंसते हो। बट ऑल क्रेडिट टू द एक्टर्स, टू करण, टू टोटा सर। आई हैव बीन रीडिंग ऑल ऑफ द हार्टफेल्ट रिएक्ट टू दैट सीन एंड इट्स रियली फिलिंग माय हार्ट विद जॉय। ये बहुत फाइन लाइन होता है ह्यूमर और इमोशन का। जैसे कि अंजलि अभी भी बोल रही थी कि जब भी उन्होंने एंट्री की तो मैंने उनके लिए वो हाउस डाउन वाला सीन जो उन्होंने किया है, करण अर्जुन की फिल्म मुझको राणा जी माफ करना, जब वो सीन आता है हॉल्स में पागल हो गए हंस रहे लोग, और फिर इमीडिएटली हार्ड कट तमाचा पड़ता है और इतना इमोशनल आउटबर्स्ट एंड बोथ वर्क wonderfully well and then juxtaposed back to back just like that. So that's what I think is a very very special aspect of what Karan and the team created, कि एक फिल्म और ऐसे सीन्स जो आपको हंसते हंसते रुलाए, रोते रोते हंसाए और फुल होलसम व्यूइंग एक्सपीरियंस दे। आप हंसे भी, रोए भी, तालियां और सीटियां भी पीटी, और क्या चाहिए हिंदी फिल्मों में है।
We'll take 2 more questions, right?
Where your center, राहुल फ्रॉम द फिल्मिंग चर्चा। मेरा सवाल कॉमन क्वेश्चन है आलिया आपसे भी, धर्म सर आपसे भी और करण सर आपसे भी। आपके पीछे एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत लाइन लिखी है, लव है तो सब है। ये
अरे वाह वाह, कितनी खूबसूरत लाइन है ना सर।
थोड़ा ये कुछ ऐसी लाइन है जो कुछ लोग महसूस भी कर सकते हैं।
कितनी खूबसूरत लाइन, कौन सा लाइन सर बोलिए फिर से, करण गौर से सुनिएगा।
मैं ये बैक स्टोरी बोलूं?
नहीं 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 नहीं, जरूरी नहीं है, करण समझ गया।
सवाल
नहीं, अच्छा बाबा बोल देते हैं, ये रणवीर सिंह की लाइन थी, इन्होंने लिखा था ये लाइन और वो सीन कट गया।
ओहो, अच्छा करण जी से रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि जब ये फिल्म जब भी कुछ महीने बाद स्ट्रीमिंग वगैरह Amazon सिनेप्लेक्स सर, Amazon एंड सिनेप्लेक्स, तो एक्सटेंडेड वर्जन सर प्लीज। लोग डिमांड कर रहे हैं कि रानी का जो थीम सॉन्ग था, रानी का जो इंट्रो म्यूजिक है, आमी रानी पास बे, वो वाला, और जो भी डिलीटेड सीन्स है, जो 3 hour 10 minutes का जो कट था सर, प्लीज कंसीडर, वी वुड लव टू सी ऑल दैट एंड
आई थिंक घर पे बैठ के वो ठीक है, लेकिन सिनेमा हॉल में थोड़ा अड़चन हो जाता अगर मैं 3 घंटे 10 मिनट की पिक्चर रिलीज करता।
रणवीर सवाल पे आते हैं। मेरा सवाल ये था कि आप धर्म सर, आप भी, करण सर, आलिया, ये कितनी फिल्मी बातें लगती है और कितना हकीकत, अपना कुछ एक्सपीरियंस आप शेयर करें तो आपके फैंस के लिए मोटिवेशन मिलेगा थोड़ा सा।
क्या मोटिवेशन?
ये लव है तो सब है, कितना जस्टिफाई होता है ये चीज, कितनी फिल्मी बातें और कितनी हकीकत है?
सर मैं क्या कहूँ, आई हैव लिमिटेड लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस, पर इतना जरूर कह सकता हूँ that if there was ever a true and authentic life in this movie or something that I could share from whatever I have learned from life, तो यही है, सच है, सत्य वचन है, लव है तो सब है, लव है ना तो सब बाकी सब समझे. It is the most special, precious and most magical thing that exists in our lives and universe. I believe it with all my heart. It's not just with your romantic partner, आपकी family के साथ भी, आपके friends के साथ भी, आपके colleagues के साथ भी, सबके साथ. जब लव है तो सब है.
नहीं, मैं अग्री करूँगी. ऑल्सो ये फिल्मी, आई डोंट थिंक फिल्मी इतना है. आई थिंक इट्स द मतलब सिंपल लैंग्वेज में अगर आप बोलते हो अगर लव है तो सब है, क्योंकि अगर आपके अंदर लव है तो आप खुद से खुश रहोगे. लोगों के लिए अगर आप लोगों की तरफ आप प्यार दोगे तो वो खुश रहेंगे. आपके अगर आसपास लविंग रिलेशनशिप्स है तो सब खुश रहेंगे. लव विन्स ऑलवेज. So that feeling वो कभी चेंज नहीं होगा. और इसलिए this line is very apt. और I'll tell you the moment we were doing a scene और impromptu वो रॉकी से निकल गया और जब वो रानी से बात कर रहा है. लव है तुम्हें.
I'll tell you the situation also. वो डिस्कस कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे के साथ अलग अलग एंगल्स कि ऐसा है वैसा है, ये होगा, फिर वो कहेंगे, फिर ऐसा होगा वैसा होगा. इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स और कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है जो सिचुएशन में रॉकी और रानी है उस वक्त. और वो उसको पूछता है तू बस मुझे एक बात बता, तू लव करती है ना मुझे? हाँ. कहते हैं लव है तो सब. लव है यू विल फिगर आउट एवरीथिंग एल्स. मेन चीज वो है, लव है तो सब. एंड आई
सॉरी
कैसे वो क्रेडिट नहीं देते सर आप कभी. देख रहा हूँ मैं. ठीक है कोई बात नहीं,
देख रहा हूँ तेरे.
आपने वो जो बोला ना सर, how he finishes that scene and I stand. कैसे बोला है सर आपने?
And I live by that.
And I live by that. अरे दिल को छू गया मेरे सर. लव है तो सब है and I live by that.
जी.
Hi Alia, Rashida here from Bollywood Bubble. You're listening. Hi. Alia, firstly, it was a treat to watch you. You represent the girls of today, the women of today, very strongly. The part that you played, I could personally relate to it. How much of relatability factor was there inside you? How much of Rani is there inside Alia?
A lot. I'm very much like her. The only thing is, I think the only difference between Rani and me कि Rani थोड़ी सी जब वो प्यार भी करती है थोड़ी गुस्से से करती है, तो उसका प्यार भी गुस्सा से आता है बाहर. And मैं तो पूरी puppy हूँ. I love like a little puppy dog. That's my this thing. So I think that's the only difference between, not the prosperous Punjabi youth, not that's the only difference. But otherwise, I really resonate with the person that she is, the values that she stands for, and the openness that she has to accept that she's made a mistake. That's something that I've also been brought up with. That if you've made a mistake, you have to accept it, and that's what she does in the end of the film, where she says, "I'm sorry." मेरा गुस्सा थोड़ा सा एक लेवल आगे चला गया.
Ranveer, my question is to you. I have been for a long time. Hi, Karan. Can I have a mic? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Ranveer, I think the biggest headline right now is the fact that Ranveer is back. The moment everyone who's walking out of the theatre, one of the first things that they're saying is Ranveer is back. I believe Ranveer as an artist was never gone to be back, but Ranveer, what fluctuated was the box office, and unfortunately in this industry you are judged by the box office numbers. So in that sense, how important was this film for you to bounce back? Because suddenly now all the perception that people perhaps had in the last 2 years has changed, and everyone is loving Rocky, everyone is loving Ranveer. But the last 2 years were not the same. I want to know how do you look back, and how important was this film for you in that sense?
Ma'am, I'm very grateful that I get to be an actor. I really protect that side of me, the artist, the actor, and for that I'm very grateful. It's almost miraculous that I get to be a part of this one great thing that I love, that is Hindi movies. Life में up down होते रहता है मैम, but I've always believed that the process is the prize itself. If people loved it, that's सोने पे सुहागा. I'm just extremely grateful that I get to do this for a living. I get to pursue my passion. I look back at the journey of 12 years that I've had, and I feel good. That's what I'm working towards. I'm really happy that Rocky is, another feather in the cap in filmography and an array of characters that are very dear to me. That's my super purpose in life, is to build a body of work that I can look back and be proud of. Bittu Sharma se leke Rocky Randhawa tak, it's been quite an incredible journey, and I'm only grateful for everything. I don't really understand this numbers game too much at all, and I try to remain as detached from it as possible. I really just focus on the craft, on the performance, on the character, and do my best to contribute to what is truly a collaborative effort. So if the film is a success, it's not my own, it's everybody's together, and the same goes with failure as well. So as they say, you learn more from your failures than you do from your successes, and I've learned a few things in the recent past. But at the moment, I'm just delighted at the love that's being shown towards Rocky. I'm very grateful for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
One question from my side.
Sir, I'll come to you. I'll come to you. Ma'am, let her finish.
Magazine.
Sorry?
I've come from Kolkata. Anandalok.
Oh wow! Namaskar. Sir, आप कोलकाता से आए? Is Chandani mimic here? Can I?
He's not.
I think.
So Karan sir, first and foremost, thank you so much for presenting the Bengali community in such a lovely way and recognizing talents like Totada and Chunni from our industry. Two questions I have for you. One is, initially you had said that over all these years, you have been so successful, but critics have never appreciated your film like this. So did that thing always bother you? Number one. And number two, you are the king of romance. So from the days when you curate Rahul and Anjali's love story, and now Rocky and Rani, do you have any difference in that mentality of curating the love story and executing it?
Firstly, thank you. The entire syntax and the talent and the characterization of both Churni and Tota, I give full credit to them. They added so much poise and dignity and artistry to their portrayals of their characters as the Chatterjee family. I couldn't have asked for a better cast. Whether it was the Chatterjees or the Randhavas, I'm blessed to have all these wonderful actors that surround me today. And I was very happy and slightly nervous about, the Bengali spoken by the non-Bengali actors, which was predominantly Alia and Shabana ji. But I have to say, and you would agree, that they did a terrific job and worked very hard. Alia doesn't show it, never makes a big deal about it to the unit or to anyone, but she is like that high school student who's mugging her lines, learning everything quietly, and then she comes and makes it look like Makhan. So she has a rare gift, which I hope she always preserves. But again, I have to thank Chutni and Tota for not only taking the flight innumerable times from Kolkata to Mumbai, but also bringing Kolkata to Mumbai in the film itself. Your second question was about the reinvention of romance. Firstly, it's important to say here that Shah Rukh and Kajol are romance icons. They represent love in our movies. They've created love. Shah Rukh is love. In fact, Shah Rukh is not a superstar. He's an emotion. He's love. The way he sings a song, a love song, portrays a love scene, when he says "aur pass," you want to go completely pass. When he says "main nahi aunga," believe him. When he says "kuch hota hai, tum nahi samjhogi," even we don't know what he means, but we still go with the flow. Because Shah Rukh Khan is Shah Rukh Khan, and there will never be another Shah Rukh Khan. Similarly, there will never be another pairing like Shah Rukh and Kajol. But times has to bring evolution. Evolution has to bring the syntax of today. And when we represent Rocky or Rani, only in Tum Kya Mile can we take a leaf out of the glorious book of Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol and their love songs. But you have to change the tonality of love and romance to match our times today. And Rocky and Rani may be rooted characters, rooted and embedded in the heartbed of family, but they brought something new. So I don't think you can compare the two, but I do know that this is now a love story benchmark.
All right, one last question, ma'am, please.
A few things before we move on. एक तो since we touched upon the Bengali line, एक वो hit dialogue एक बार आ गया जी हमारे दोस्तों के लिए.
खेला.
Nice. अरे तालियां पीटो.
Karan, this question is for you.
Ma'am, sorry, one more second. I won't take too long. Ma'am, I've been in the halls. The reaction to the bra scene is off the charts, especially when she says, "Chali ke piche kya hai?" And then she asks him, "Chali ke piche mein, what is it? Chali ke piche mein kya hai?" मतलब इतने माचो इंसान का जो कचरा किया है इन्होंने. वाओ, पब्लिक ऐसे तालियां पीट रही है. मैम, you must go to the cinema halls while you're here in town and just see the reaction.
Expression at the other end. I kept looking at your insecure eyes.
And so he had no clue what lingerie was. He decided to just take this trip and he said, "Card max karenge aaj." He thought that they want to buy some really fun designer clothes for Rocky Randhawa.
So how they're noticing all these small nuances, it's pretty incredible, huh?
Yeah, but those are all.
Speaking of which, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, हमसे ही मिलने आए हैं, आप वेट कर लेंगे 2 मिनट, कुर्सी लाओ मैडम के लिए. Love your sari. Very nice color and style, babes. I like it.
Thanks, Ranveer.
Is it Manish Malhotra?
Poroma.
Oh, nice. So, I wanted for you to elaborate a little bit more on this updated syntax, because another thing, I've been keeping my ear to the ground for people's reactions, and a lot of them are saying, and this is making me very secretly proud, but I will share my pride with you, they're saying it's one of your better films, and you are somebody who's made iconic films, like Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, K3G, and they're saying there's more culture, texture, word that you've created in the characters, in on everything, every aspect of the mise en scène, the production design, the clothes, the spoken word, the dialogue. Can you tell us what it is about Rocky Rani that sets it apart in this way from the rest of your filmography? It's most certainly, जैसे what is that line? सोच नहीं, स्वाद वही.
सोच नहीं, स्वाद वही. I mean, I don't know how to assess my own work, but I have been very busy this last week, only receiving love, and it's an abundance. It's an abundance, and that feeling of joy I don't think I've ever had through my career. In fact, there's been a 7-year gap, and I've forgotten what it was like to direct a film and receive feedback. I actually do not remember what had happened during Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, because we had a situation that made us, leave the country for a month. So I wasn't there when the film released. And Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum came in the year of Lagan and Dil Chahta Hai. So I was like, oh God, we may have done the numbers, we didn't get that love, we got it in retrospect. But it was all about Lagan and Dil Chahta Hai. Lagan was this archival beauty, and Dil Chahta Hai was the new tone of cinema. And I was like, I remember reading a review that said old wine, new bottle, and I was like suffering from that. And I remember I wasn't nominated in any award, and I used to really get disturbed. So I haven't really, and during Kabhi Alvida, the moral police were running after me. And then my name is Khan, there was some other political issues. And then Student of the Year, there was a tragic loss in the family. When it released, Yashji passed away. And during Edil, we had another issue to deal with. So I never took a break to breathe and find out. But there was no problem in this film, thank God. And a little bit of rain Alia was worried about, but and she had become a weather reporter on a daily basis. She was monitoring the rain more than AccuWeather was. And
देखो बेबी, Friday को ऑरेंज अलर्ट बोला है, कोई जाएगा सिनेमा हॉल.
She was like 80% rain के chances हैं. I said, तो मैं कैसे? What do I do? The rain dance to stop it? I can't now. I said, just like you, there will be sunshine. But I do know that this kind of love, Ranveer, to answer your question, is a first for me. I'm feeling like this is my debut film, and now from here onwards I hope to make many more. I don't remember the last time I felt this good being a filmmaker, and this just this happy. I am so happy.
I want to narrate one story. Yesterday I was just randomly chilling and Karan never calls me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Usually he calls me in the morning, but then he calls me in the evening with some information. I picked up the phone and I was doing something. It was just on speaker. And he just, without me saying hello only, I'm just really happy. I don't know what to say. I'm just really happy. And I was imagining Karan sitting like that on his bed.
And I'd taken the day off from work, and I was lying down and I was just looking and feeling happy.
लूटो यार, तारीफ से लूटो, हक बनता है यार. You delivered an
Please
entertainment.
let ma'am ask the question.
Please,
I think it's the last one in the round.
Ma'am, please. मुझे भी जानना है इस fascinating के बारे में. Ma'am, एक सेकंड.
Again?
एक सेकंड. नहीं है मैडम के लिए. Sir, did you anticipate this kind of intellectual discourse about gender dynamics, matriarchy versus patriarchy? Because you really just didn't. Your intention was to deliver an entertainer, and that you did.
It was lovely meeting you, Barkha, but I think... Thank you so much for your reportage.
I really want to know.
Arey Baba, I never thought critics have never liked my movies.
India
want to know, but I was in shock. I was like, अरे इसको भी अच्छी लगी, इनको भी अच्छी लगी. I was like, in the morning I told my marketing team, I said, don't send me any bad reviews.
Nice.
I don't want to send, just send me. So I was thinking, I was thinking that मेरा वो inbox भरेगा ही नहीं. But लगातार टैन वाला साहब का I was like, इसको भी इनको तो कोई पिक्चर अच्छी नहीं लगी थी मेरी.
और राकेश रोशन जी से लेके अनुराग कश्यप जी तक.
I was like, oh God, I'm so happy, so happy.
Master class, क्या बात है? अरे जीएम करण जौहर.
Yes, ma'am. Please, the last question.
Karan, this is for you. I really liked the film, but the best part was the casting.
Yes.
From there to here.
Yes.
It was fantastic. But tell me, how difficult was this?
It was easy. I had Shanu Sharma. Shanu Sharma is a rock star casting director, and here's a little secret. She's an exclusive YRF power force, but she is allowed to only do my directorial films because Adi is such a dear friend of the family that he has allowed Shanu to work for me when I direct a film, and I am humbled and privileged because she's so amazing. All these wonderful actors, besides Ranveer and Alia, of course, that I took the liberty of casting myself.
I'm also Shanu Sharma's
Yes, you are also Shanu's talent.
By the way, so am I. Even I'm Shanu Sharma's discovery.
Yes, so Shanu Sharma must be given due credit. But whether it was Churni and Tota and Anjali and Shiti, Amir Bashir, Namit Das, Abhinav Sharma, the entire cast of the film, besides Jaya ji, Dharam ji and Shavana ji and Ranveer and Alia, both Shanu Sharma proteges, it was her. I had nothing. She used to show me the audition. I used to always tell her, send me 2 that you love. Chanto apne aap or tell me 2. It was a no-brainer seeing these auditions. They were like my first choices as soon as I saw them. From Churni there right up to Shiti, and everyone in between were my first choices. And I was very happy that this film is what it is only because not only of the writing force but the actor energy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.